Good morning, class. I'm starting with the first lecture in your subject management process and organization. So let's start with it. Management control systems. What is management control system? A management control system is a system which gathers and uses information to evaluate the performance of different organizational resources like human, physical, financial, and also the organization as a whole, considering the organizational strategies. We understand it's quite simple if we say management control systems. It means the control within an organization. How does the management control big companies, big organizations like Wipro, Infosys, and Reliance do need control systems because the employees are spread all over the country, sometimes all over the world, almost in many countries. So they need control systems to keep a control and of human, physical, financial. Definitely, if they are big companies, they would have lots of financial assets, liquid money. So they do need control to be able to have a control system. What is the purpose of management control system? To clearly communicate the organizational goal? Yes. To make sure that the employees understand the goals and work towards achieving it? Yes, definitely, because employees, different employees, as to say, people from different background would come to work in an organization, and the organization needs to make sure that these people, these employees, are working towards the achievement of its goal, not their goals individually. To communicate results of actions across the organization. What are you doing? We are working in a company. We don't know what the results are of what we are doing. So the management control system, the management communicates these results to the organization to ensure that managers can adjust to changes in the environment. Okay, what are the basic concepts of management control system? So let's see. It's control, management, systems. It is described below. Let's move forward. Control. An organization must always be controlled. This is important as it seeks to fulfill its overall purpose, so some kind of control is needed. The overall purpose of an organization is to earn profit and grow. Yes, we all know that nobody would work, only NGOs do work for, they are non-profit organizations. However, they also have a goal to earn some profit. Sorry. So any organization, any business would have a goal to earn profit and grow. So let's see how they control it. These are the elements of control process. There is a detector. The detector gives information about what is happening. It measures the things that are happening in an organization. Then comes the assessor. Assessor compares, and assessor may be an MIS person or a manager who compares. This has been told, this is the standard, and what actually is happening. So the assessor assess it. It is very necessary for an assessor to assess it because they should know whether they are going towards the right, towards the they are towards achieving the goal, or they are behind. So it's very important to assess. Effector, behavior alteration if needed. So what does the effector do? It gives feedback. The assessor assesses it, and then a feedback is given to the employees because again, if if they are behind, they need to alter, they need to change, they need to adapt. So a feedback is given for the employees for any kind of process, be it within the computer system, be it within the humans, any kind of alteration or changes that are necessary are to be made, it has to be made it. And it happens with the control device, and the entity being controlled is the organization, the humans working in that organization, the systems that are working. So this is a brief on control process. These are the elements of control process. Then comes the management. Management is in business as the organization and coordination of the activities in order to achieve defined objectives. So what is management? The term management is given to the senior employees, to the CEO, to the senior managers in the business, where in the organization, and they organize and coordinate the activities. What do they coordinate? They coordinate internally with the superiors, with the subordinates, to achieve defined objectives. According to Sir Thomas More, management consists of the interlocking functions of creating corporate policy and organizing, planning, controlling, and directing an organization's resources in order to achieve the objectives of that policy. So this is what management does. It's an interlocking function. Interlocking as in coordinating, communicating, interlocking functions. So what do they do? They create corporate policy, they create the rules and regulations, the policy, they organize it, they plan it, they control it, and directing an organization's resources in order to achieve the objectives. So if a policy has been made, okay, and objectives have been made, who follows it? Who has to be told? The subordinates have to be told to follow it, and the superiors are told. The superiors tell them. So the management tells them what to do. Systems. A system is a prescribed and usually repetitious way of carrying out an activity or a set of activities. However, management may come across situations where the rules are not defined. Then they have to use their judgment to decide what actions to take. So we may conclude that systems are in place. However, if the predefined systems take all the corrective action, then no human intervention would be required. So along with systems, management is also required. We do understand it. People say computers these days have taken over human work as well. But in very simple terms, who operates those systems? Humans do. If computer can do everything, what is the need for humans? A company wouldn't need humans. But yes, management or humans are definitely needed. Systems may define, systems are there, but to follow it, it's the management which comes into picture, because they tell their subordinates how to follow it. Okay, these are the boundaries of management control. Management control is distinguished from two other systems of activities that also require both planning and control. Strategy formulation. What is strategy? Strategy is something, it's a plan of action. It's something that is a plan for long term, not short term. Strategy is built, is made when a company is starting. They have a goal, they have a vision, they have an aim. So this is where strategy formulation comes into being. This is a long-term process. Their strategy can be for ahead of 5 or 10 years, 15 years from now. Task control is for short term, we as the subordinates work on a daily basis. There is something which is needed to control them. People and companies are working, so some control is needed. That is called task control, which is a daily basis task control. We go to an office, we work there on a daily basis. So what happens? We don't know what is we don't know what is the strategy. We may know the subordinates may know what is the strategy of the company, but on a daily basis there is the task control which is to be taken care. However, management control lies in between. Yes, it does. Management control lies in between because the management of a company has to work towards the strategy as well. There is a goal of a company, there is an aim. They know what the aim of the company is, so they have to work towards it. However, they also have to have task control, which is for a daily basis working. Management control comes in between. Strategy formulation focuses on long term, task control on short term, but management comes in between these two. Relationship among planning and control functions. The planning and controlling functions of management are very closely related. The planning process is much more important in strategy formulation. Why is planning important? Because planning is done for long term. We cannot plan for tomorrow. We do not rather plan for tomorrow. We plan for our future. We plan for 10, 15, or probably what will happen after a retirement. So this is how the company also plans. And the control process is important in task control. There has to be a control because so many employees are working. There has to be a control, and it is control functions come into being when there is task control, in task control rather, on a daily basis. For a smooth daily functioning of an organization, control process comes into being, and both are of equal importance in management control. So let's see management control activities. Then we have what does management control do? It control activities. Then there is a budget, goal congruence. What is goal congruence? Goal congruence is when the employees, when the superiors and the subordinates both are working towards the achievement of the organization's goal. For example, there are many employees working in a big organization has somewhere around 500 to 1000 employees, or rather more than that. What if the employees are working but they really do not know what the goal of the organization is? They would work on rather themselves. They would have no idea what they are working for. So there has to be a goal congruence. The employees should work towards the achievement of the goal of the organization. They should know, and when the employees work towards it, it is called goal congruence. A budget is allocated, as we have budget for countries, we have budget for organizations as well. So a budget is allocated for these purposes. Tool for implementing strategy. There are certain tools. Strategy, as I said, it's for long term, so there has to be some tool for implementing it. You just cannot have a strategy and there is no tool for what can be the tools? Organizational structure, human resource management. So organizational climate, what is this? There has to be some kind of organizational structure. You just cannot have 500, 1000 employees working and there is no control over them. There should be a tool which they should be aware of. Sorry. Financial and non-financial emphasis. So what do we understand by financial and non-financial? Financial, we all understand it's related to money. Non-financial, not related to money. So what does management control do in this? If you say financial, anyways, financial emphasis for an organization would be to earn profit, to have a greater market share, to have a rather uh, have a big company, or rather, so these are some of the financial emphasis. Earning profit is the most important goal of an organization. And non-financial would be consumer consumer satisfaction, product quality, and customer satisfaction. Sorry, I said that earlier. Employee satisfaction. So these are some of the non-financial emphasis in for a management control. Management is between strategy and task control, as I said earlier. So management has to see, what if the consumers are not satisfied? What if the consumers are if this happens, what will happen to the strategy, what will happen to the vision, to the aim of the organization that they have for themselves? That 10 years later they would have a monopoly in this particular product, or they would be the market leader. So they have a strategy. However, the management control in between works towards it. they 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 know that how it can be delivered. And non-financial, if the consumers are not satisfied, if the employees are not satisfied, how would the organization achieve its goal? They cannot. Aid in developing new strategies. Today's era is very dynamic. We all know that. If you can get a product from the USA in India, any product you want, you can easily get it anywhere in the world. Earlier it was not the same. Earlier the companies used to have monopoly, but now there is a very less monopoly in the market. So the management control systems help in developing new strategies. For example, we have made a strategy, we have formulated a strategy in 1980s. Do you think that would be feasible in 2014 or 2015? It wouldn't be. So you have to develop new strategies. Your goals may change, your aims may change. This is what management control does. Strategy planning and formulation, again, you have to plan it, you have to formulate it. Task control is the daily basis control in an organization. The four paradigms of control, these are the examples. What are the four examples of control? The purpose of all management and control systems is to achieve the goals and objectives of an organization with ease and at least cost. So the cost, we all, if you've worked in an organization, you would know what cost control is. So this is how the control system, the management, lower the cost. However, management control systems of an organization should be in control instead of controlling people. You're controlling people, but you're not in control of your company. What happens? Nothing can be done about it. You can control a single individual, but you have to think big. Just so you also know, being in control is not same as controlling. An organization lacking its control is bad for its employees and hence bad for itself in the long run. As I said, you can control few people, you can control 200, 300 people, but how can you control the whole organization? So you have to be sure that you are in control of your company, of your organization. People would themselves work towards it. And yes, management control does have strategy, rather they have things in place to control people as well. So there comes task control. for daily activities, there is task control. The four paradigms are adaptability, integration across organization, optimal mix of control and coordination, reinforcing cooperative instincts. Adaptability, what do we understand? Adapting to a situation, changing. We all know change is inevitable. So if change is inevitable, we have to adapt to it. You cannot have a thought process which was in 1970s or 1980s in 2014 or 2015. You have to adapt to the change in the situation, change in companies. So as people change, the companies also have to change. The consumer taste changes. So this is adaptability. I'll give you an example, a very good example of not adapting properly is of Kodak. We all know Kodak camera. I knew it because when I started using a camera, I only knew that we have Kodak Reels, and we have to use that. But sometime after, we had digital photography, we had Nokia, we had these days we have instant photography in our phones, we have cameras in our phones. But what happened with Kodak? It had a monopoly earlier, but it didn't adapt to changes. We had to have it couldn't give instant photography, and we had this reels. We had to click 36 photographs, then give it to the shopkeeper. They would get that done, and then we would have photographs. So who would wait for this in 2015? Nobody. So this is how it didn't adapt, and finally it had to file for bankruptcy. So change takes place. Today's situation is very dynamic. The companies, the organizations, and we as people also have to adapt to change. Integration across organization. Integration, coordination across organization. There should be when we say integration, the superiors and the subordinates should coordinate with each other. The subordinates know the ground reality. They are working with the customers. They are in marketing. They are in sales. They are talking over the phone with the customers. The superiors do not do that. So it's important for the superiors to coordinate, to have a good coordination with subordinates. This is called integration across organization. Where this does not happen, that really may be a problem for the organization. Optimal mix of control and coordination. There should be control as well as coordination. You cannot just rely on the subordinates to give you give you feedback, to tell you what needs to be done. You have to have optimal mix. You should know what is right and what is wrong for the company. The management control should know this. Reinforcing cooperative instincts. As humans, we tend to work even if we have not been told. You go to the office daily. Many of you must be working. You go to the office daily. You start your work, you start working on it. Nobody has to tell you that you have to do this today, you have to do this today. You know what needs to be done. So the management has to reinforce that. You don't have to be told every day that this needs to be done today and you have to do this. They have to reinforce it amongst the employees, and the employees must know it. Because we all want to cooperate, we all want to contribute, we want to achieve. So the management should know this, that as humans we want to achieve some things. So we would work, and there has to be optimal, rather reinforcing these instincts into us. Okay, so these are some of the questions, people. You can work on it, and I'll be back soon with another lecture. Thank you.